To the Barack Obama approved world's greatest podcast. This is Hyphen Nation, and I'm your host, Kellen Conley. So, on today's show, we have a DJ out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, by the name of DJ Hollywood. I hope you really enjoy his stuff. It should be wonderful. No, but seriously, I do have my friend DJ Hollywood on the show. He actually came into Morgantown last weekend. He did a show for WVU for the Welcome Back weekend. There's kids everywhere. Stupid students. In case you don't know, I do not like Morgantown when the students come back. Because one, there's so freaking many of them. Because some of them haven't decided to stop going to class yet. Also, they bring their stinking cars. And they all think they should be driving. So it takes like about a month before things get kind of back to normal, so to speak. You know? I hate it. Absolutely hate it. The annual Welcome Back concert, Fall Fest, that WVU holds every year was last night. Headlined by Lil Yachty. I wasn't there, nor do I care. I'm not a supporter of boats. I don't know what they call his fan base. I can't tell you one Lil Yachty song. I'm so washed. But back on topic. I've known Hollywood for several years now, 10 plus at this point. Met him just like I met my friend Cortez through my other friend Wes, Warren Stewart, aka DJ Hypnotic. When he started getting to DJ in Morgantown years ago, he's the one that introduced me to Hollywood. So it's been that long. And funny story, I kind of mentioned it a couple times on the interview and the podcast. We went to the Royal Rumble in 2014. Me, Gary, Anthony, Thomas, my good friend Moose Smith, who has lost all the weight. He got a sleeve on his stomach as well as some intense workout methods. He's lost a whole person. Shout out to him. And then my friend Jonathan McCumber. We all went up to Pittsburgh for the 2014 Royal Rumble. The weather was awful all weekend. And, I mean, it was a good time. There was nothing besides us going around in bad weather. I mean, we saw a comedian, my friend Mike Osti. The Buzzsaw took us to see Dave Bracey. So it was the first time I met Dave up there. They have the Drinking Partners podcast that is very prominent in the Pittsburgh area. Went to a couple places. Went to Fatheads for the first time. Went to Church Brew Works on Sunday before the Rumble. We had a nice little time. And then, of course, we went to the Rumble, and Daniel Bryan went in the Rumble. We were all mad. The crowd was very violent. Not violent. The crowd was very loud and angry, I guess would be better. We made all kinds of chants during the John Cena Randy Orton match. And then we booed when Batista won. And most importantly, it was the last time that CM Punk was in a WWE ring. That night in Pittsburgh. I was there. So we share that connection. Aww. But I think it was on Sunday or something. I got a message from Hollywood. He's like, because I've been posting pictures on Instagram and on Facebook. He's like, yo, you didn't tell me you were in Pittsburgh. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, cause I knew he lived up there, but it never even crossed my mind. He's like, you didn't tell me you were here. It's fucked up. I'm like, what? What do you mean it's fucked up? I don't understand. Like, what did I do wrong? he just, I mean, he says it on the pod. He just missed my face. This is what he said. He just wanted to link up, get together, and see and do something because we were in his city, you know, something like that. But in rap world, I've come to find out that there is actually kind of a rule when you go to another rapper's city, where you kind of let them know, just, hey, I'm going to be in Detroit. Royce, I'm going to be in Detroit. Snoop, I'm going to be in Long Beach. Game, I'm going to be in LA. I don't know, Nori, I'm going to be in Queens. Nas, I'm going to be in Queens. You just give them like a heads up. And I don't know, like, they might not necessarily even be there, but I guess the logic behind that is if some shit happens with you or your crew, then because you've reached out to your contact there and made your presence known, then because they're from there, they're able to help you out based on whatever situation. I mean, you roll up in I don't know, St. Louis and murder a dude. I don't know how much Nelly can do for you, but you know, so it's just common courtesy is what it is, really. So I felt bad for that, but Hollywood is a stand-up guy. He's a great DJ, and I had messaged him when I saw he was coming in because I was like, yo, let me get you on the pod or whatever. So he's like, I got 30 minutes. So I met him at the Coliseum here in Morgantown, and that's exactly what we did. We did 30 good minutes. Before we get into that, though, I promised y'all that I was ready. I promised you that I was ready to talk about Scorpion. Scorpion is the 5th Drake album. Let me see. Let me count the ways. Thank Me Later. Take Care. Nothing Was the Same. Views. So technically it's the 5th studio album by Drake. Even though So Far Gone was like an album, and even though More Life was like a mixtape album, and same with If You're Reading This, it is his 5th studio album. I recently completed another tour of the 2-album monster that is Scorpion. The album it's okay. I gotta say, it might be worse than Views, and I've expressed my views on what I feel about Views already to y'all before. So the problem with Scorpion, and the problem with More Life, and the problem that began on Views, Drake is the biggest rapper in the world, but Drake has no motivation to be, I don't know, to try. Because here's the thing. It's not that there's no competition, but he doesn't see anybody as competition. He is the biggest star in the world other than Beyonce. Can I say that? And with that said, he's complacent. And that's why you've heard on this album, you heard so many kind of, man, that was a corny bar. Not that Drake never had corny bars, but there were just several times that I felt like, it was like, man, that sounded like J. Cole from 6 years ago, or it just sounded out of place for him. It's just, I think I'm another reason why I realize that Hove is so great at what Hove does, or anybody that I mentioned in the top 20 MCs, because I did not mention Drake at all. One of the things I take for granted with some of those rappers is they were always on point. They were all, I mean, there was bad albums, bad songs, you know, everybody catches a brick every now and then, but the thing was, they were actively still trying to do the best job possible with the raps, and it just feels like Aubrey doesn't care a lot on this album. Don't get me wrong, the Kanye raps are dope when he's going at Kanye on a couple of joints. 8 out of 10, Mob Ties. All that stuff is cool. Talk Up is fine. The mark of a bad album is when all your singles have already been rolled out pretty much, and they sound nothing like the rest of the album. Like God's Plan was fire, and nothing else on the album even comes close to God's Plan. Then you have Nice for What? Great song. Great sample, but then that's it. That's kind of, that energy remains with that song. 8 out of 10 has really great Drake energy as far as the rhymes that he delivers. They sound very Thank Me Later, Take Care era Drake with the energy that he brought to that. But for the most part, he just relies on this lazy flow with a deep voice just like this, and now he's rapping like this, and now I'm Jersey, and I was hiding my kid from the world. I didn't want to hide the fact that I had a kid. It was just because it's dangerous out there, and I got Sophie pregnant, and now I'm coming back to this. Drake and Jersey again. He's just found this damn pocket, and it's just it's so aggravating, you know. Like, even, I don't know, man. Even on the title track views, there's just a certain ambience. Like, think about 8 out of 10. Or not 8 out of 10. Started from the bottom. Like, there's just a gravitas to his voice. And now he's so comfortable in this deep voice timbre that he doesn't want to leave it right here. So I'm just rapping now. I'm driving down the road because we mobile. Hyphen Nation is the greatest podcast in the world, and I don't care about anybody else who hears it. I don't really care. Nonstop it's growing on me. But that's another thing about this album. Songs shouldn't have to grow on you. Like, I don't want to learn to love this album. You know, if I want to learn to love an album, that's work. No one listens to music so they can learn to love the music, unless they're studying it to learn how to do it themselves or something, you know? And that's very aggravating, at least for me, when I think about it. I'm upset. Everybody agreed it was trash when it came out. The video, because I really love that Degrassi video, I thought it was a dope concept. It was good to see all those kids again, because I used to watch Degrassi on the end when I first moved to Morgantown way back 15 years ago. So I've been following Jimmy for a while. Reason I even found out Drake rapped is because I was looking at Degrassi stuff on Wikipedia, and I think I went to Aubrey Graham, and it says Aubrey Graham also raps under the name Drake. And I was like, what? Oh, I gotta hear this. And I was pleasantly surprised. Another thing about Scorpion that really bugs me is the overall lack of melody and songsmanship. Let's call it that, penmanship. One of the things that Drake has always been known for is his ability to craft a song. And by song, I mean with hook, verses, everything. Like, that's why when he first got into the game, he got so many features, and that's why him and 40 were working with Dre on Detox before they decided to shelve it years ago. Drake always had a way with melodies and a way with actually writing songs. He's gotten so far away from that. Several of these songs barely have hooks on them. And he does the same monotonous flow. His singing, one of the things I actually enjoyed about Drake was his singing. I feel like even his singing on this album is kind of phoned in. And that's quite disappointing because, I mean, you can even go back to Views. I mean, One Dance, that was a big hook. Hotline Bling, that was a big hook. Melodies. I can't think of the one joint that I really like off it, or one that Chance covered. Those were really good songs, and Views just doesn't have any really good songs. That's what I don't understand about Views. It's just a bunch of songs. Which leads me to my next point. The production is so blah. Other than the singles, and of course In My Feelings, which In My Feelings almost sounds like a freaking throwaway, because it's only like, I think it's barely 3 minutes. But that In My Feelings almost sounds like Drake accidentally did that. It didn't feel like, oh, this is a big Drake summer smash. I don't think that was what it was. It was like, I like this song, let me put it on there. I don't know about all that. I like this song, let me put it on there. Shout out to Drizzy. Shout out to myself. The producers, I almost want to say, I'm checking this out right now. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the album notes. And of course, it's showing me Scorpion TV series. Shout out to Catherine McPhee, but that's not what I'm talking about. I want the studio album by Drake. Thanks. No, where is it? Scorpion Drake album. So production-wise, let's see. No ID, Tay Keith, No ID, Noel Castel, or Cadastre, Nonstop the Hitman, No ID, Cardo on the beat, Young Exclusive, Oogie Mane, Boy Wonder, The Day That I 10, you can tell. Mob Ties, you can tell Boy Wonder did that too. Mod Max, Sandra's Rose, DJ Premier, Talk Up, DJ Paul, Lane, Preem, Rashad, 40, Cadastre, Murder Beats, Black and Mild, 40, Corey Litwin, Cadastre, Boy Wonder, Ratchet Happy Birthday, which I actually kind of enjoy. I mean, it's not anything that, I don't know. Cadastre, Super Mario, Illmind, Taz Taylor, JR Hitmaker, Trap Money Benny, Did In My Feelings, obviously we know that now. 40, Joe Capo Kent, T-Minus, Boy Wonder. This is such a hodgepodge of sounds. And I just don't understand. When that happened with Thank Me Later, when all these other producers wanted to work with Drake because it's his first album and everything, I still feel like 40 did a great job of making the sound as collective as possible and putting his stamp on it too. Of course, we know Take Care was his baby, so Nothing Was the Same. Views still had a certain sound. Scorpion is just all over the place, and it just feels like 40 even was kind of like, man, I don't know how 40's health is, but it even feels like 40 was kind of like, whatever, we're going to put it out, and all these songs are going to chart anyway. Complacency has become Drake's worst enemy. At least when it comes to albums. His features are fire. I've had no problem with his features. I like the Lemon remix. I thought it was fine. Walk It Like I Talk It, fine. But I don't know. I'm not going to get into any speculation about what may have had to change after he went to Kanye and told Kanye, I'm doing a song for my kid, and I'm doing this at Adidas, and then Kanye went and told Pusha, and then Pusha turned around and released Story of Adidon. I'm not getting into any of that. What had to be changed or anything as far as that. I don't know if the album was better before or after that diss track came out. All I know is that I'm upset with this album because it's not very good. I almost want to call it pile of shit. I thought Views was shit, but then it kind of got better. But again, why I gotta learn to love it? That's bullshit. That's not how any of this is supposed to work. I'm just saying. It's not how any of this works. So, I do want to talk about some highlights real quick, though. I don't hate the whole album. And I don't hate it in general. I'm upset. I just think it's fine. Survival's cool, I guess. I'm not a big fan of the Mount Rushmore me with 4 different facial expressions. Nonstop, I mess with that. Elevate's okay. Emotionless is underwhelming. I really feel like Emotionless would have been... I was just waiting for more, and he was like, don't hate me. And now I'm sitting here in my Maybach in Toronto. Wish I could talk to my son, but my son ain't here. I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding the world from my kid. God's plan. Absolutely wonderful. Great. I'm upset has grown on me because of the video. 8 out of 10 is one of my favorite songs. Extremely short again. 3:15. Only 2 full verses, I believe. Mob Ties is cool. Can't Take a Joke's okay. Sandra's Roses, I'm more here for Premier. Talk Up, more here for Hove. Is There More? Okay. Peak, it's okay. Summer Games, Peak. Jaded, okay. Nice for What? Fire. Finesse, okay. Ratchet, Happy Birthday, I'll give him that. That's How You Feel, Blue 10, I don't care. And My Feelings, of course. Don't Matter to Me, actually, that one kind of goes. And I know people don't like the Michael sample. I mean, Michael didn't have a ton of finished vocals out there, people. In fact, I think they just put out I don't know if it was a new single or something that I saw they did a video for a Michael song, and the vocals still don't sound right, because one thing about posthumous Michael Jackson albums, and I haven't heard anything they've put out of Prince's yet, is because Michael was such a perfectionist that his finished vocals that we heard on all his solo albums or any Jackson's albums, anything like that, they were fine-tuned and everything was just too perfect. So you can't expect to take some raw demo vocals from X amount of years ago and not actually have the man here to shine it up, and then you come out with flat sounding vocals. But I like Don't Matter to Me. I do enjoy it. After Dark is fire, and Drake has nothing to do with it. Static and Ty Dolla $ign killed that shit. That shit's dope. Final Fantasy's fine. I want to talk about March 14th, because the last thing I'm going to say about Scorpion is I really feel like Drake has nothing left to talk about, even with the birth of his son. You would think, oh man, he just had a kid. Like, he's definitely going to have some things to say. Like, we've seen when Drake has something to say, he says it. He's never had a problem otherwise. And it just seems like he's run out of things to say. I don't even think there was any really good stories about girls that he was into or anything like that. Not even if he was making it up. He's kind of tapped. He's tapped out at this point. I mean, we know his uncle helped him. We know that his dad is a deadbeat and is trying to capitalize off his son's fame now. We know that Sandra is his mom's and everything, but the lack of personality that Drake put into this album is really surprising. Even Views had its moments, but I really feel like he just said, fuck that, I'm not really going to go into it. And that's one of the things that Drake has always excelled at. That's that same shit that Budden always excelled at. Is when they open up, you want to listen more. And the fact that it's missing from this album really disappoints me too. I'm upset. But March 14th, I was ready. I'm like, oh, all right, this is going to be the song about Adonis. This is going to be a song about the kid. He's about to go in. He's about to say some real shit. Of course I close it. He's about to say some real shit. 5 minutes and 9 seconds, you better believe it. No. We get one verse where he says, I got this other tattoo for someone else. Now it belongs to you. But I'm going to get a bunch of more tattoos for you. Can't believe I'm a single dad when I yelled at mom and dad about it for so long in these records. And that was about the only thing he said. We'll talk more when the time is right. That was the most disheartening thing about Scorpion for me. I mean, we knew he wasn't going to come back and push at this point. But you just wanted something. You just wanted to hear him have that conversation with his son on the album. We didn't get it. We didn't get it at all. So, what he did give us, which I found was cool, was he actually did, when he does the little cover, that's from my Boyz II Men's second album too, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. I believe that song was called Khalil, and they did that for their manager, Khalil Roundtree, who got killed shortly after the release of Cooley High Harmony, and that was like their little dedication to him. So I thought it was really cool that he used that, and the analogy of changing from a boy to a man. So Scorpion exists. It's fine. It doesn't really move me other than those couple songs I talked about. Marcus rearranged the track list on Views and made it sound better. I don't even think that can be done for Scorpion. Unless you're going to make it an EP. There's just so much baggage on this album. And it's not even the good baggage that Drake normally talks about. So I'm gonna revisit it eventually. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of other music I need to get to. I finally got some stuff on my iPod. I got that new Nas on my joint. So I was wrong. Nas isn't retired, but from what I'm hearing most people say that he might still be retired and just tried rapping. This will be the only thing of the Wyoming sessions of Kanye's besides Daytona that I'll be checking out. Haven't checked out his album, Kids See Ghosts. Not into Tiana Taylor, no offense. And I have not checked out that new song, Ecstasy, that Clark Kent just dropped. Fuck Kanye. I don't care. Kanye died in 2016. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say about this album, but I really don't. So, we're going to switch it up. Let's get into this interview with DJ Hollywood, my good friend from Pittsburgh. We talked for about a half an hour about his career, how he got started, DJing in general, and all that. So, enjoy. Sitting here with my good friend, DJ Hollywood. What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Nothing much. You know, every time I come to Pittsburgh, you yell at me.
Yeah, man. People be coming to events and all this stuff and don't be getting at me, man. You need to get with me when y'all come to Pittsburgh.
I understand. I've learned more since then because it's kind of like you go to somebody's city, you kind of have to let them know what you're coming through at least.
Yeah.
Even if it's just for like 2 days.
Like, we good. You don't need no pass. I miss seeing your face, man. You hit me when you come to the Burg. It's all love, man.
Yeah, so I saw you were in town, in Morgantown.
Right.
You did an event for WVU?
Yeah,
Nice. So how'd that happen?
It was good. It's a little welcome back thing that we did at the gym.
Okay, at the rec?
Yeah, at the rec center.
Gotcha.
I got the message from DJ Dollar. He gives me the nod from time to time to come to university events.
Shout out to DJ Dollar, man.
DJ Dollar, man. That's a good young man. That's my guy.
Yeah, man. I've known Dollar for years now. He's learning under Strizzy and getting better with his own marketing stuff and everything.
Absolutely, man.
I love that kid.
I stand behind him, man. He's a good dude.
So, I don't really know, but where are you from? Pittsburgh originally?
Yep, I'm from Pittsburgh.
Okay. And you're a DJ, obviously. So what got you into music and DJing?
Just, I don't know, music always spoke to me. There's something about it. Like, music was like, my childhood wasn't super tough, and I didn't live in the roughest neighborhood, but I was just like a little loner for a while, introvert, and music was just always the escape.
Right.
And I couldn't leave it alone. I eat, sleep, shit, music. It's how it works, man.
Yeah. That's how I ended up getting into music too, because my dad was really into music, and then my mom was in music, my stepmom was in music. So, and then eventually my friend Matt got me start rapping, like 21 years ago.
My dad and my grandmother and my aunts, like, my mom and my biological mom, my dad split when I was very young. I didn't even remember her, and so I was always with my dad, and he listens to like so many different genres and. He's like an audiophile, so he had like 8 tracks, records, 45s, cassette tapes. Like he just had different collections, and some of it was the standard stuff that you listen to, and some of it was kind of eclectic. And like it was just a bunch of mixed stuff. And then my aunts would always listen to the old soul records when I was over on the weekends. Yeah, cleaning house. The soul and the funk music was their thing, so that's how I got into that. All the different angles of the music.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, so. I kind of radio DJ'd for a while, and I've done some DJ gigs, but I've never actually called myself a DJ. So one of the things I wanted to do on my podcast, consider I'm like 70 plus episodes in now, is get people on who I know DJ, like you and Strizzy. I had Monster Lung on before. We talked about the Cavs.
Man, shout out to him too, man. Yeah. He's a big influence and helped me out really. Like, I mean, I can't even talk about it, man. He sent me so many emails and did so many things and pulled so many strings for me that I don't even think he know how much he means to me, man. Shout out to Eric Jordan.
He does it, man. Eric Jordan does. He's touched a lot of people.
I really appreciate that.
He's like his father like that. Like, his dad passed a few years ago, and like I went to the little celebration of his life and everything. Right. And there were so many people who got up to talk about him.
His father's name Norman?
Yeah, Norman Jordan.
Yeah, man. And you can just tell he comes from that lineage, man. Just the cloth that he's cut from, and the way he speaks to you, and he commands respect, and he really earns it, and he's just really influential in all the positive ways, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know he has bad days, but you know what? You would never see it when you talk to Eric, because he's always able to just put that aside and just vibe with you every time I click with him, man.
Absolutely. So did you start DJing up in Pittsburgh?
You know what? I didn't start DJing in Pittsburgh. I started DJing actually here at WVU for a tiny little bit, and then I went back home and started honing my skills, and then came back when I actually went to WVU as a student twice. Oh, okay. So my first stint was in 2000. And then I came back in about 05, 06. Okay, that's when we linked up. Give it another crack, exactly. Yeah, that was my second stint here in WVU. The first time, though, I wasn't a DJ. I was just a little party kid, man. Oh. Just, in here trying to keep the grades up. Unfortunately, I did not. Yeah, same. The parties keep going, and now I'm getting paid for it. Yeah, you and Hypnotic ended up getting his degree eventually, but you both jumped in there, man. And I think I met you through Hypnotic, I think, maybe. Absolutely. Yeah, because were you at Shooters? It was a hip hop night. It was Shooters. And Hypnotic was in there. Yeah. Shout out to him too, man. There's a lot of good DJs down here. I still link up with, I don't link up with him, but we still in contact. Yeah. I see he got things going on in Maryland and the east side of the state in West Virginia, and he's always on his grind, man. But that's where I met you, on Walnut Street at Shooters. Yeah, man. Well, because I would always just come down. He'd be DJing late night, and I'm like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm awake. I'm going to go down to Shooters. Yep, he was doing his thing, man, playing some hits, man. Yeah, absolutely. So
you came down here and you're partying and you went back. Did anybody specifically trying to mentor you, or are you all kind of self-taught, like in the early days?
I'm for the most part self-taught, but you know what? Like as a DJ, you always, reach out to people and sit in people's booths and see what's going on and try to soak the game up. And there was a few DJs that did that for me. And the number one is Sean Nice.
Oh, goodness.
Sean Nice sold me my first pair of turntables. He
give you a good deal?
He gave me a nice deal. He gave me a little bit below market value.
I figured he would.
At the time, I was strapped for cash. Me and my girl just split. We both moved down here together, and she went back to Pittsburgh. And honestly, I didn't even know how I was keeping my lights on that week.
Right. And
Sean gave me some turntables. Was like, look, go knock out these couple of gigs you got lined up. I'm going to give you these early practice. I went and paid him. And the rest is history, man.
Yeah.
He's always, been willing to help me with equipment, knowledge, how to bid on gigs, get your paperwork right, insurance, just any professional stuff that you need help with. I've always reached out to him, and he always, got right back to me, and was always receptive to that type of stuff.
Sean's a good dude. I love Sean.
Yeah, he's the guy, man. The other one is John Mahellis, DJ Cadillac from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And when I went back to Pittsburgh and started taking it seriously, like, look, I'm ready to do it. He let me sit in the booth, and shout out to him, man. He does finest events, and he's one of the best DJs and event planners that I've ever crossed paths with, man. Did you ever have problems with
when you were learning, like with your ego and being patient about that kind of thing? Because I've met a lot of DJs, or I've known of a lot of DJs just as out there who don't want to pay their dues and they want to jump on immediately, and they get tired of sitting behind someone, and then they get out there on their own, and they could have obviously learned some more before they really went on their own. Did you have any problems with that at all?
A little bit, but it comes with age, realizing that you were doing that type of thing, recognizing it now that I'm older. You know what I mean? Like, the guys gave me the nod though, and they told me, like, man, I think you're ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
I played behind the scenes for almost a year and a half, 2 years before I even bought equipment.
Right.
So, like, it was a little bit of a transition, and I thought I was a little bit more ready beforehand, and I fed myself to the fire a few times, but, it was rough around the edges, but I smoothed them out pretty fast, so that transition wasn't as bad as some.
Right. So you came down here. The second time. Did you meet Eric the first time you're down here, or meet him the second time you're down here?
I met him the first time.
Okay. So when he was with the Recons and stuff then?
Yes, 304 Recons, wow. The trailer. Hey man, listen. Yes.
Let's talk about the Recons a little bit.
Yes, let's do that.
Because the Recons are a 66240. Paycheck gave him originally. DJ Bearcat, DJ Monster Long, and then they brought in Big Chief. And they were like the first big West Virginia thing I ever heard of, like rap wise.
Man, I was playing some of that music back in Pittsburgh, and people was checking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Sound Vision Volume 1, Volume 2, and then
down Charleston, they was banging them things, man.
Yeah, man.
I miss those days.
That's what everybody says. I just missed it. I got here in 03.
And
I didn't meet E till 05.
I had a little more responsibility now than I did then. And it was a little more just carefree living, having fun.
Yeah, man.
I still was maintaining and paying all my bills, and guess what? My credit, I didn't have no messed up credit back then. I didn't even know about credit for real.
Oh, me neither.
But it was fun, man. It was something else.
I remember one of the first Sound Vision shows I went to was at, I think it was called the Ice House at Wheeling. It was at the school in Wheeling. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Okay.
But it was like this round bar, and it was like a couple floors, and it was called Ice House because they used to literally make ice in the place, like back in the day. And it was like the whole crew was there. And it was like Beans, Johnny E, me,
Ace
Six.
Beans. I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, Beans still be running around a little bit. He got a fam now, but he be popping up.
I see him with the fam. I follow him on the social media.
Yeah, on the gram. That's where he's at normally.
On the gram, yeah, that's where I follow him. I like to keep up with people, man, just to see how they flourishing, man. He's doing his thing, man.
Yeah, and we got there, and I did a little set, and that's when the Gmo Morgantown thing happened. So I had Profit Money with me, and CFX, my boy Chivalry, DY was with us. We all went up there, and we did our little sets.
David Morris.
Yeah, David Morris, man.
I remember him too, man.
Yeah, he's doing folk music now.
Yeah, he switched it up a little bit.
He did.
I ain't mad at him.
No, not at all, man.
Man, you gotta, when you find your sound, some people don't realize how it is as an artist when you're able to create all these different things, and they just want to you know, like kind of put you in this little box, man. That's what they was trying to do to him. And the hip hop thing, don't get me wrong, he had bars, but what he's doing now, I'm glad he's doing something he's passionate about and continuing to just do his thing.
I agree. I can tell that he definitely loves what he's doing now way more.
Right, absolutely. He's having fun with it, and he's pushing the genre.
Yeah, absolutely. But at that show, ended up getting real wasted because it was free drinks and everything, and ended up blacking out drunk and everything.
A lot of that back then.
Absolutely. So, where do you DJ at on the regular up there right now?
I'm at a place called Senior Frogs. It's in the south part of the city near Brookline, Dormont area.
Okay, you got like a regular gig like every weekend?
Yeah, I got a residency there.
Nice.
I staff Thursday nights. I passed that off to my homie, my partner, BMW the DJ. Shout out to him. I couldn't do this shit without him. And I do the Friday and Saturday nights from 10 till 2.
You ain't shit without your homeboys.
Not at all, man.
And when we're younger, like I said, we don't always realize that. But now I think we're both mature enough to know.
To realize I got some solid dudes that's still with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I rely on them, and hopefully they rely on me too, because that's how it is.
Do you just spin hip-hop normally?
Predominantly, like hip-hop, a little R&B, a little reggae, a little throwback pop stuff, but majority the urban stuff. So,
what do you think of the state of hip-hop popular hip-hop music right now?
Be specific.
Trap me, like the mumble rap.
Man, this is how music is supposed to be, man. It's the new wave. That's the young era. Like, back when LL and everybody else had the boombox, that was a different style, and this is the style for them. So I'm a DJ, so like how of course there's a wheelhouse for me and some of the stuff that suits my taste. The stuff that's coming out now, a lot of it doesn't. But I like the beats, I like the bop, I like the energy. It's the young energy, it's the new wave.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm okay with it.
I have trouble with it sometimes, but being a rapper, it's a little different when I don't have to cater to anybody really. And hell, I'm not even a rapper anymore. I'm a podcaster. So
you did the lyrical stuff and you had some bars, man. I remember.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you being nice like that.
I ain't being nice. I still got some in the hard drive, bro.
I appreciate that. I have trouble with it sometimes, man. Like I literally only listen to certain things that I know I like, and then even my favorite rappers now are kind of letting me down.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially a certain one from Canada who I was championing for several years. He's kind of letting me down recently. But I mean, everybody grows, everybody gets comfortable, and everything like that.
Right.
So you're not the type of DJ who like you get hired for a gig and they're like, all right, well, we want you to play some house or anything like that. You're not the type of dude like, I ain't playing a fucking house or anything like that.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even take those kind of gigs. Okay. I got enough leads.
You straight up with them.
And I got enough, most people that come to book DJ Hollywood, they come because they want my sound.
Right.
Like, they want me to be me.
Yeah.
And like, I do other events and cater to things and go, I could do some family stuff, do the weddings and play, the throwback stuff, the clean and some rock and country and all the genre stuff doesn't matter. But for stuff like that, we got to talk about it and prepare.
Yeah.
And the price got to be right, because I don't want to, who wants to go do something uncomfortable just for the money?
Right.
You could be paying me $1,000, but at the end of the day, if I'm not comfortable with the gig, I'm going to go somewhere else, and I'll settle for even $300-400 less if I'm having excitement and touching more lives.
Yeah.
This is how I get down.
Absolutely. Do you run it, like, I remember, hell, it still happens here, unless you're like Yemi or something like that, somebody who's been here for a while. Do you run into a lot of places up there? I know that you have Senior Frogs. You know of a lot of in the DJ scene up there. Do you know of places that are doing the whole $50 DJ nights and just taking whoever and letting anybody get on?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because there's so many bars and there's so many places. There's always that place that just could put in a dude that'll he'll take $50 a pitcher of beer, and he's okay with just talking to college chicks, having somebody in his face all night. And I'm the opposite.
Right.
Honestly, I don't even like taking requests. You're gonna go with this flow or you're not. I
wanted to ask you about the request.
You're gonna go with this flow or you're not. Like, I'm cooking back here and it's cool. This ain't like McDonald's, man. This is a different kind of restaurant. Right.
Yeah, because at one point I feel like a lot of that stuff was going on here, and a lot of the DJs out of jobs or out of town. Is that eventually what happened to you, and that's why you went back to Pittsburgh?
Man, I outgrew the financial status of DJ pay here in Morgantown. They're just trying to pay me peanuts, man. Yeah. And I can't keep getting the same pay grade and step my game up. Like, I felt like, how them rookies be? Yeah. They're burning their knees out for $3 million. Then it's time to get paid, and then the organization gives them a contract. Well, look, I stepped my game up. I was ready to move up. I felt like I needed to get paid. They wasn't trying to pay me right, so I had to go back home and get that money.
Okay. And then
it was just that.
So you went back and you immediately was like...
I went back to Pittsburgh. I had a game.
What was your game plan?
I didn't even have a game plan. I was just like, I got friends and family I could chill and flop with for just enough to get me a gig. Mm-hmm. And it happened. I actually moved back to Pittsburgh with a DJ that I met here named Michael Willis. DJ Mad Mike. Shout out to DJ Mad Mike.
What up, Mad Mike?
Man, I met him. We became friends down here, and we just kept talking all the time. He helped me out with some equipment, and then I didn't have a place to go. I moved to Pittsburgh, and I was with my girl for a while that was down here. It didn't work out. You know how that shit is.
Yeah.
And then I went and stayed with Mike for a few months, man, and got me back on my feet, saved up, added some ammo to the DJ arsenal as far as equipment, because I was running real scarce.
Yeah.
Bare bones. I was renting shit, borrowing shit. Mm-hmm. But that's how that happened for real.
Okay. So as far as equipment, what is your go-to? Are you Serato guy, or are you Yeah.
I use Serato DJ Pro.
Yeah. And you've never had a problem being Serato? Like, you're not one of those guys that's like, man, I wish I was on vinyl, or it took you a while to adapt to it, or
I can mix on vinyl, not the same, crisp mixes you're gonna get out of me on Serato, but I can hang it. It's not no train wreck.
Yeah.
I started right at that era where people were still using CDJs and actual CDs. Mm-hmm. Some people still had the vinyl. Some people was the digital transition and moving over. So that whole 4 years when I started DJing was when everybody was switching over, and it seemed just like real easy for me to jump in because of that. I learned on a lot of stuff. So I could do the turntables.
Yeah.
I could do the controllers. I could mix by ear. You know what I mean? And all that's no issue anymore.
So what do you think of DJs that are out here doing shows, like literal concerts, like the big DJs, and then you go to their shows and they literally are sitting there with a laptop, and then they play in their mixes, and then they got the lights and the confetti, and they're dancing, and they got the hype man.
Man, they faking the funk, man.
Yeah.
Oh, out here making cats like me look bad. But some of them earned it, like as far as their production and just the value they hold because they got it the right way. And then there's some that didn't. I don't know how they're in that position. I have no idea, honestly. And they'll be making $1 million and play an EDM festival, making all these shows and be on tour all summer, and I'll be sitting at home shaking my head.
Right. It doesn't make any sense. Like at Fall Fest, probably it was before Leah was born, so probably about 5 years ago. Yeah. They brought in somebody, and he literally stood up there and just punched the buttons, and all these kids were just going nuts for him, and there's confetti and everything else, and I'm like, what are y'all doing?
All these bells and whistles.
Yes.
Ain't no DJing.
Right. I'm like, how is this man headlining Fall Fest?
And they sat there with Ableton and put together a nice time set, and just had it cut out to the set time, hit play at that right time, and just act accordingly. That's how some of these cats is doing. I would never do that.
Let that bass drop.
I'll never play a mix or nothing. I'll run to the bathroom and I'll run back before that song over. I'll apologize for dead air for 3 seconds before I play a mix in the club.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of dudes back in our day that was literally doing mixes in the club and then just walking around and drinking and talking and
setting playlists.
Yeah,
man,
absolutely. Because you had to play. What was it?
That's the thing, though. That's what some of the people was willing to pay for, and then once I exceed that, and I feel like that diminishes me, I'm not watering my shit down. I know how to do this. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Like, listen. Once you learn how to walk, how long do babies keep crawling?
They don't.
I'm not doing that, bro.
Man, that's how they made me feel. Makes perfect sense. What was it that shooters when
moonwalking?
Well, not moonwalking. Shooters always I can't even think of it. Who used to own Shooters or was in charge of it?
It was only Sam and Muhammad, remember?
Muhammad, yeah. But that was the guy who was always
they wasn't paying you right when they come with the money real tight and rolled up like this. You know that shit's short.
Yeah. They always wanted to pour some sugar on me.
Oh, yeah. At midnight, you had to play 3 corny-ass songs. You had to play
Country Roads,
or you had to play Country Roads. That was mandatory.
Yeah.
You had to play, like, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Shook Me All Night Long.
Yeah. Regardless
Mr. Jones, Counting Crows, some shit like that.
Didn't matter how packed the club was, how good you were DJing that night, you had to stop everything.
You would derail the entire shit. And they insisted that you do that dumb shit.
But at the same time, that would be nights where they would have Drink and Drown.
True. I mean, but I don't need to do that to make it so dramatic to tell you the drink special's over. I got a microphone and, enough savvy to just say it.
Yeah.
But they, I let them run it how they want to run it. But, all good things come to an end.
Yeah. So what's your typical process for getting ready for your gig every week?
What you mean?
Like, do you like sit down and go through all the new music and all that?
I'll be honest with you, I don't do none of that shit. Listen, here's the thing. I take some requests from certain people because I know they got the ears to the streets as far as music is concerned.
Yeah. And
then I look at the record pools throughout the week, check, what releases were out the last couple weeks, just listening to music on the road and stuff to hear what catches my ear, hot singles, artists that are, trending right now, stuff like that. That's how I get down. And I don't put too much into it on a week-to-week basis. It kind of, it builds itself a few files every couple days. That's how it is.
Because when I was doing U92, doing the Urban Diner, I felt like I spent at least 2 days just going through music and stuff for Thursday and Saturday and stuff, just to try to switch it up and everything. Because I can play what we've been playing, but also when I have
you want to bring up the monotony a bit.
Right.
That's how I do it too. I play some of the hot songs will be the same, but got to mix them up different so it hits the ear different.
Yeah, and radio is a little different than in the club too.
Right. It's just the format and the song selection with the radio.
Yeah, because on radio, like people hear a new song and they're like driving or whatever, or listening at home, and it's like, all right, cool, this is what's up. But you're dancing in the club, you hear a song you don't know, you're gonna stop dancing.
Bingo.
Yep. And then the girls leave the floor. And then once the girls leave the floor, then
it's over.
Yeah. So
you lost the momentum.
Here, we're gonna play a little scenario. So your night's going well, and then you play something, and then, I don't know, 12:30, 12:45, you see the floors kind of filtering out a little bit, and you're like, all right, I want to bring the people back. Do you have like a go-to that you would throw on or anything like that I can start playing this, and then it'll bring the people back out on the floor? Or do you just kind of work through it and let them come back organically? I kind of work through it and let them back organically sometimes. It depends on the situation. Like, if it's like an event, or it's like a wedding dance floor, I want to try to bring them back right away. Yeah, I'll put on a dance song, a line dance, something like that. But at the bars and the clubs, it's okay. You can slowly build it back up, because when they're doing that, that's money for the bar, and that's the bottom line anyway. So nobody really gives a fuck. That's true. And then there are bangers that you could just bring them back out with. You just got to typically know the crowd. Like if it's a trap crowd, you just got to know the artist. Like that 2006 to 2008 Gucci, or Lil Wayne, Steady Mobbin', or Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. Like something that people know the lyrics to, that has some energy to it. Yeah. And there's plenty of them out there. That Plain Jane by A$AP Ferg. Yeah. It's got that nice little bounce to it. It does. I get people dancing with that right now. It's fading out a little bit, but it's still working. Right, but you haven't gotten them tired of it either, because you're not hitting them over the head over it. I don't even play it every week, man. My playlist switched up. There's very few times where I'm playing. It'll be similar stuff, but I don't double that up. I check my history, so I distinctly don't do that. Okay. So you do a little bit of research. Just a little bit. Yeah. I've been doing it a while, so it's become second nature. Yeah. Yeah, and nothing that you have to sit there and really do homework for. Bingo. And stuff like that. Because there's some DJs who, in that scenario, would freak out and immediately drop Cupid Shuffle. And you know it. Perhaps. You know it. Yeah, right. Or Cha-Cha. Right. So I try to get out of it a different way. I try to pick something else and blend it in. Yeah. Put something with a beat that they know over it, and, beat match and have it overlap so they can, get a different feel. Yeah. Because sometimes that works too, because sometimes a song will be a dud and it'll just, some reason they're not feeling it, and you can just put something over it, and then all of a sudden you bring that shit right back and let it ride out. I used to DJ, air quotes, at Bucks in South Park before it got burned down for insurance money. I remember that spot. I've been there. I DJ'd there a few times. You know what? Eric Jordan plugged me in there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That was Sound Vision's home for like shout out to 18 months. Oh my, man. He does so much. Man, and I can't express it, man. There's no words to express it. I know. And there'd be times like that where I'd have a decent dance floor and then I'd lose it. And I'm like, do I really want to drop this? And I would try to work through it, but then there'd be times where it'd be like, I just have to get people back out there. And they're just kind of sitting at the bar or whatever. But at the same time, I was going to get paid my whatever I got. I don't remember what I got, like $80 a night. It was something. Yeah. I was really filling in for E on nights that he couldn't do it, and he got his rate, and then I got my rate, and I didn't really care to do. It was more like helping him out. So I get it. That's how it is, man. Yeah. You were capable of doing it, though. Yeah, well, thanks. And I know you did it to show him love. Absolutely. So I appreciate that, because that's my guy. Yeah. Well, let's see. So, who is DJ Hollywood outside of DJing? Outside of DJing? Yeah, what's the man like? Some 36-year-old father, man. Yeah?
And, you know, me with the cannabis culture, I try to push for the legalization.
Yeah.
I try to do charitable stuff. Just trying to give good advice, man. Trying to, you know, I want people to be better men and women than some of the people that was around me. And I wasn't a good person all my life. You know?
Right.
I wasn't like a bad person, not stealing, robbing, you know, straight junkie.
Yeah.
You know, nothing crazy.
Just things you ain't proud of.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But, like, you know, I just want other people to be successful and take a better path. So I just try to, you know, tell them about some of the things they should do and tell them about some of the stuff I did, and maybe they could go another way.
Yeah.
But that's who I am. I try to just be a good person, man.
How many kids you got?
I got 2.
You got 2. How old are they?
10-year-old son, 5-year-old daughter.
Okay. I knew you had a daughter.
Yeah, I got a son and a daughter.
Because we're in that clan together.
Yeah.
the Bad Boys 2 club.
Yes, sir.
Ludicrous looking motherfucker. What else do you? I mean, I know you said that you're in the cannabis culture, everything else. What do you do to kind of relax, or just when you're on your downtime, where you're not playing with the kids, taking care of the fam, and like what else you do, man? Like
traveling.
Yeah.
You see, I got the weight still. I'm not almost 400, man. I lost some weight, but
you do look like you lost some
eating
weight.
Good, man. I just try to. You know, I don't really get too much time off. Like I try to. That's when I get into trouble, man. I try to stay busy, stay focused.
Yeah.
And when I'm not working, like the DJ thing on the weekend, I'm trying to just build the business up, you know, acquiring stuff, leads, graphics, social media stuff. And I honestly want to move out of Pittsburgh. I want to move either south or west.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's not even the greatest place for DJs either. And I feel like, while I still got some good years in this game, I think it might be better served out of this region. Mm-hmm. Just the whole region in general. It's washed.
Yeah. So south or east, you said?
South or west.
South or west?
Yeah, either.
Any destinations in mind?
The Myrtle Beach area is number 1.
Ooh.
Number 2 is LA.
Beach DJ.
Number 3 would be Las Vegas.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You should
and
go.
Number 2 and number 3 kind of ties in a little bit more with the cannabis culture stuff as well. Cause I've already done some of that type of stuff. DJ'd side stages at Cannabis Cup. Mm-hmm. And done a lot of stuff with, you know, the seed and the growers and stuff in a lot of different regions. Colorado, Michigan, SoCal.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to continue in that path too.
I got you. You should call up the Raiders because they're moving to Las Vegas, and you could be the official DJ for the Raiders in Las Vegas.
That would be crazy.
With all your Pittsburgh Steelers tattoos. You know the Immaculate Catch was a fake, right? That shit didn't really happen.
There you go, man. I didn't see it hit the ground, so I don't know. We still gonna celebrate.
I wasn't alive, so it was fake. It didn't happen.
Well, you know.
Damn you, Franco Harris.
I know y'all like the Raiders, the Browns. I still love y'all, man.
Yeah, the Raiders are my squad, but I do Browns in our blood with Eric and my friend Anthony.
I saw that. I caught a couple episodes.
Yeah, they have a lot of fun.
Check in on y'all, man.
They have a lot of fun, and I try to help them out every now and then. And with the Browns, man,
I gotta check the schedule. Maybe we could do a Steelers version when y'all come to Pittsburgh or go to Cleveland. We can see what's up. It's only 2 hours away, man. I'm with that drive. We could do this.
They would love to have you on the show.
I would love to sit down with you guys on a Sunday and just chop it up, man.
Hell yeah.
Let's tailgate. Let's do it.
All right.
Put little tunes on, have a sip.
I will pass the word on to Eric and Anthony.
Tell them to message me. Let's make it happen this season. Check that schedule. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Because they're all about trying to be in that. I mean, obviously, they have nowhere to go but up. Right. So they're all about trying to do that.
I'm a Steelers fan, and you know I'm not the hating kind of guy.
Right.
As far as sports, I'm a hater by nature. I hate my ass off in other aspects. But as far as sports, I don't be throwing that in nobody's face or be talking about. You know what I mean? I want to see them succeed for, you know, parity's sake. Mm-hmm. I want the division to be stronger. Right. I want to see a game. If they beat us, hey, look, we're trying to get you guys the next time we see you on a Sunday. Yeah, the AFC North hadn't been real strong in a long time. That's just the competitor in me. This is how I am. I love to see all of them. You know what I mean? I want to see people win, man. Yeah, absolutely. I would see if the whole league went 8-8 and it was tiebreakers to get in. I don't know how many times I can say, yeah, absolutely. I keep saying, yeah, absolutely. It's all good. My coworker today, we were talking about some fantasy football stuff today. And we were talking about the Steelers. He said he respected Roethlisberger. He's an Eagles fan. Mm-hmm. He said he respected Roethlisberger, but he said, I don't like Mike Tomlin. I was like, why don't you like Mike Tomlin? He's like, he's a crybaby. He distracted his team from the playoff game. I was like, he didn't distract them. The Steelers as a whole was looking past them at the Patriots. That's what they were doing. They were. And I can agree with that. My whole thing team was. Tomlin's a black head coach in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So I have to back him a little bit, and, even though he's coaching the Steelers. I feel obligated to as well. And yeah. Me, you know, being pro-black. Blacker, black and pro-black. blacker and blacker by the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I see people like that in a position like that, and it's a person of color, I have no choice but to back them and root for them.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not perfect. He's not the best coach, but he's my coach. You know, at the end of the day, I trust his decision making. Mm-hmm. We've been a successful team, and the torch was passed to him, and I think he's made some very sound decisions.
And he won a Super Bowl.
You can't argue with that.
Right.
It does. It's just, I mean, we've been a team. We're the upper echelon of the NFL every year with him at the helm.
Y'all have not been down since.
There hasn't been a dip.
The late 90s?
Just a little hiccup.
Yeah.
There ain't been no dip. It's a solid football team year after year. And I think it starts at the top with the Rooney organization. Yeah. And I like Mike Tomlin as a head coach. Is he the best head coach in the league? I wouldn't agree with that. And I think there's a couple other guys with some acumen, and they're a little bit better as far as the X's and O's. Mm-hmm. But I think he's a good motivator. And I think that over the past couple years with the drama and the things that have been going on off the field with the players, I think he's been saying all the right things. I love him in interviews. And as far as being black, how many other black head coaches are there? I can't even think, bro. Like,
your boy Marvin still got a job in Cincinnati.
There's like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, I gotta be supportive.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel the same way about black quarterbacks too.
Absolutely.
Because everybody in Cleveland's calling for Baker to start now. And I'm like, let Tyrod start, please.
He's a proven starter.
Yes.
With some weapons now.
Yeah, there's no reason to put Baker out there.
I think they got a better offense than the Bills do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I think they do too.
I think they have a better team than the Bills. They had some tough breaks.
And they actually have faith in Tyrod because Tyrod got benched last year.
Bingo.
For a little bit.
Look at the point margin too. There's no way they're going to – I see them having a better season, period.
It's got to.
And I think that starts with a proven quarterback. Not that he's proven
Hugh's black.
to be successful.
Hugh Jackson's black. Go ahead,
Not that he's proven to be successful, but he just got a little bit more experience. I don't know if Baker's necessarily ready for that yet. Okay. I like his athleticism. He's a flash, but it's just not yet. Sit and learn. Get ready. Get right.
So Pittsburgh and the area around it has a lot of breweries there.
Yeah, they're popping up a lot.
Are you a beer snob? Or do you check out some of the brews every now and then, or are you just kind of like give me a Bud Light?
Yeah, I'm a basic beer grabber. Honestly, my preference is a basic beer, Miller, Coors, whatever. Yeah. I honestly drink liquor more than I drink beer. I don't drink beer very often. Mm-hmm. But they have had a lot of breweries. There's supposed to be a Black Brewers Festival going on this weekend.
Yes, it actually happened today.
I was reading some information. Amber Epps, shout out to Amber Epps, Holly Hood, with the ice cream and Moscato. I love your girl. She got her own brew. You know what I mean? She's a part of that. It's a special thing going on, man.
Yeah, I asked you that because they're doing that Black Brew Festival up there, and I wanted to go, but I had to work. And then
I'm down here doing my other thing, the DJ thing, so I'm always around, but I've seen it.
Two of the guys that's involved in that, Dave Bracey and Ed Bailey, I don't know if you've heard of them.
I was reading about that.
They're comedians around there. They do a podcast up there called Drinking Partners. That's what it's called. Yeah. They interviewed the mayor a few years back and shit. Mm-hmm. And I actually, the weekend that you yelled at me because I went to the Rumble 4 years ago and I hit you up. My friend Mike Osti actually took me and my friends up to see Dave Bracey at a club up there. Like, we went treacherous ice-covered hills and stuff, see Day up there.
That's what's up.
It's funny as hell. And then he started his podcast shortly after. Good. So Drinking Partners is a big deal, part of that. And I just wanted to shout them out, and I didn't know if you knew them or not. So if you ever run into Dave Bracey, I don't know them
personally, but I'm gonna look more into this. I have heard of the podcast before.
Yeah,
I have some other comedian friends that put me on to some stuff.
Okay,
and they mentioned that.
Yeah, so if you ever see Day or Ed, you tell them that Kellen from Hyphen Nation said what's up. Hyphen.
100%, absolutely.
Yeah, because I talk to him online every now and then.
For sure.
Oh, well, shit, let's check the time, because you said you had about half an hour. We had 34 minutes.
Yeah, man, I got to get ready to hit this road, man. Back to Pittsburgh. I'm back on at 10 p.m. in the mix till 1:46.
Oh, you Senor Frogs?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Got to make that money.
So, feed the kids.
Parting advice for one up-and-coming DJs or just DJs in general, and then parting advice for life in general. Hit it.
All right, my parting advice, I'm going to go with the DJs, of course, first. Mm-hmm. Young DJs, practice your craft. I'm going to repeat, practice your craft. I hear a lot of DJs that think something sounds good, man. You know if that shit sound like a real good DJ or not. Practice your mixing, practice your craft. You don't have to have like an OG DJ to follow, but Like, look at other successful DJs and, just take notes, man. Soak up the game and just take notes. Study it.
Carry some crates.
Yeah, man.
Even though crates don't exist anymore.
Crates don't exist anymore, but there's ways to pay your dues. Equipment still needs carried. Mm-hmm. There's still openers. We still need opening DJs. We still can't be in two places at once. If a gig ends at a certain time, done. Yeah. There's social media. There's graphics. There's just all types of stuff that you can do to help pay your dues. Like, just tag along one night, sit in the booth, go get the DJ something to drink so he ain't got to do this. Play a couple songs while he goes and use the restroom. Swap out the batteries in his wireless microphones and stuff before the big weddings. Just and be his assistant for the day. Come dressed fresh with a polo shirt on or a tie with his brand.
Yeah.
Just do stuff like that to be supportive, and I promise the love will come back to you tenfold.
All right, and what about just in general, life in general?
Now, life in general?
Yeah.
Find your pace. Like, some people can live at this fast pace, and some people can pack so many things into a condensed time frame. You need to find out if you're that person or not. You need to find out if you're able to thrive in those high pressure situations, and if you are, do it. Push yourself to the max. That's how I feel. Like, if it's like that use it or lose it shit is real. I'm pushing myself to the max right now, and I honestly haven't felt as good in years. I feel like I'm 26 and I'm 36. Yeah. And I was getting lazy and I thought I was breaking down. It was because I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't using my mind, body, and spiritual power. Use every bit of it. And I don't know what you believe in, the higher power, any of that shit. But guess what? All the rights and wrongs, pretty much all that shit matches up. So you can throw all that out the window at the end of the day. Keep some good people around you. Keep some people that smile when you see success. There's always going to be some haters. If there's these people that's not congratulating you and acting like a fucking cheerleader every time you do something, guess what? They're not for you. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to have people that are around you that believe in you and are in alignment with your movement and realize what you can accomplish. Like, sometimes you got to push yourself. You got to pack it in there, man. Don't sit around waiting for it, because I swear, man, it's going to be gone before you know it. And you don't want to lose them opportunities, because that's some shit you'll never get back. You'll be looking back and just, like, thinking about these decisions you made and the tangents that put you on in life. And there's only about 3 or 4 decisions in this lifetime that are going to spin you like that. But guess what? You don't want to wait until it's too late to realize it. Pay attention to the shit. Keep your eyes open. Keep your head on a swivel. And push it, man. Just live it to the max.
Damn. Good shit.
Thank you.
And no request.
Depend on how much they paying. I might take some requests tonight, man. I'm feeling good.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you get out of here. Let you get back on the road. I really appreciate you getting on here with me, Hollywood.
Thank you very much.
So I'm just
appreciate your time, bro.
Oh, no problem. Pleasure's all mine. Special thanks to DJ Hollywood for meeting me at the Coliseum and hopping in the whip so we could talk for that time. It was really fun. Can't wait to hang out again. He said he wants to do he might come on Browns in Our Blood, so we'll have to figure that out. That'll be dope. Oh, Browns in Our Blood is back, by the way. Season 2 started last week. Episode 2 is coming out this week. So Eric and Anthony are back at it. Get all your Browns fix. But honestly, look, even if you're not into the NFL, like Marcus is kind of is not watching this year, even if you I root for a different team. I mean, I'm a Raiders fan. I think it's a lot of fun to watch Anthony and Eric together and talk about the Browns, because the Browns are one of the most tortured stories in sports. So to hear two fans sit down and talk about them every week, especially in the way they do it, I think it's a lot of fun. So make sure that you're checking that out. But if you want to be a part of the world's greatest podcast, chill, all 71 episodes, go to iTunes, rate, review, and subscribe. Leave a comment, and I will read it on the show, good or bad. If you're not into iTunes, you can go to Google Play, Google Play Music. You'll find the show on there. Also on Google Podcast, Stitcher, Overcast, Pocket Cast, the TuneIn app, all those places. The episodes are on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/b-hyphen, so you can check them out there. I'm a little behind, but this will be coming out on there eventually, as well as all those Catch the Shows and the most recent episode of Lemon on the Edge. So, shut up. I know. Let's see. Hyphenpodcastgroup.com has all the episodes. Hyphenuniverse.com, my personal website, has all the episodes. If you go to Hyphen Podcast Group and then click on the shows link in the menu, that's at Hyphen Universe, hyphenpodcastgroup.com, and go to the shows link. I may have said it right the first time, but I'm just making sure. Go to Hyphen Nation. You will see an RSS link. You can take that or take the old feed, feeds.feedburner.com/Hyphen Nation 2016. Take either one of those links, turn those some bitches sideways, put them in your favorite podcast listening device, and you can get all 71 episodes of Fire. Chill, just like that. If you want to contact the show, byphen@gmail.com, Hyphen Podcast Group @gmail.com, at B-Hyphen on Twitter, at Hyphen Pie Group on Twitter, Hyphen Universe on Facebook, Hyphen Podcast Group on Facebook. Any of those ways you can get a hold of the show. Let me know. The words of wisdom were already, Hollywood already dropped that for you. He dropped some knowledge at the end. I was really impressed by what he said. So that's your words of wisdom for today. Power of positivity is real. Get that negativity out of your life, no matter what that may be, no matter what you may do. You got to do you. Cheer. This episode was sponsored by Circle K Coffee. This keto diet is working. I've lost over 20 pounds. So I'm going to keep on ketoing. Maybe I'll talk about it here on the episode here. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all listening to the show every time it comes out. It means a lot to me that I'm not just listening to my own voice out here. Because sometimes it feels like that. I mentioned it a couple episodes ago about the frustrations of not being able to see your results. But I know people are listening, and I do appreciate it, fellas. Well, there goes my female fan base. Sorry. No, I appreciate all of y'all that listen to the show. Seriously. So until next time, thanks, y'all.